Happy New Year, everyone, and I really wanted to kick off 2023 with my color trends video. This is a very popular video on my channel. I actually do a color trends video every single season before the season kicks off, and that is what I want to do today. I'm going to talk about the color of the year, which is just so amazing, and then I want to talk about the 10 colors that the Pantone Color Institute predicted for the fashion season for spring and summer, and then the 5 classic colors that they predicted. And I love their predictions, and I always use their predictions for my videos. So if there's another Color Institute that you love, they're probably very, very similar. But we will go ahead and jump in and look at these, and I'm going to show you images of things that are actually in stores that have these colors in them, just to give you an idea of what is soon to come. So I hope you enjoy this video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new around here, my name is Jamie. Welcome to my channel, and I would love it if you guys would hit that subscribe button and the little bell to get notifications if you don't want to miss any of my content. So I decided to be a little festive for this video and wear what is a good representation of what Pantone's color of the year is. And it's Viva Magenta. So it is a reddish pink, and you're going to see various shades of it. And so I really wanted to read to you what they had describing this color on their website. And it said, this year's color of the year is powerful and empowering. It is a new animated red that revels in pure joy, encouraging experimentation and self-expression without restraint. An electrifying and a boundaryless shade that is manifesting as a standout statement. Pantone's Viva Magenta welcomes anyone and everyone with the same verve for life and rebellious spirit. It is a color that is audacious, full of wit, and inclusive of all. And I think that is a good representation of what we have going on right now in our world. And a lot of colors and styles really come into fashion depending on what's going on in the world. And so I love talking about color. I think it's really important when we are going into a season to kind of know what is going to be out there. So I want to start out by looking at a comparison of last year's colors for spring that were predicted and this year's colors for spring side by side, so you guys can get an idea of how different they are. So the ones for last year I feel like have a little bit more of a muted tone, and they go a little bit more pastel, which I think we're going to see a lot of pastels still, but I think we're going to see a lot of vibrant colors. And you can see in this color palette that there's a lot of vibrant colors. There's red, there's orange, yellow, there's a couple of pinks, actually a purpley pink, a baby pink, and then your magenta, pinkish red. And then there are a couple of greens, because I think green is going to be a big contender for this season as well. And then of course there's a couple of blues, but when you compare these, I do think they are still in the same color family, but very, very different. So when you think of classic colors, you might think of colors like navy, gray, white, black. So a lot of the classic or neutral type colors are what I think of, but sometimes their classic colors have a little bit more of a color to them. And so if you look at last year's, they are a little bit more muted still. And then this year they have a little bit more of a pastel feel in my mind. So you have the Skylight, which is kind of this minty greenish blue that's really pretty. And then the vanilla goes a little bit peachy pink. And then the gray lilac is a little bit more lilac than gray, and we're going to see a lot of purple still. So I thought that was a neat color that they chose. And then in this one, you are seeing more of your brown tone, as opposed to last spring and summer, they were showing the brown in the regular color palette, not the classic color palette. So I think brown is something that we'll probably see just kind of mixed in and a little bit less than what we saw last spring and summer. So now I want to run through these colors and show you some of the things that I found in store that are already available. A lot of them are new arrivals, because usually during the transitional time or like late winter, you will start seeing some of those colors, since winter is usually considered a season for 2023. So we're gonna see these colors coming already, and then we'll see a lot more of them in spring and summer. So I wanted to start out with the Viva Magenta and the lighter crystal rose pink that I thought was beautiful. One, because I think they go together, but it's also going to show you that there's going to be a range of pinks that we're going to see. You're going to have your deeper, more vibrant pinks, your bright pinks, and then your baby pinks. And you are going to find them in prints and in solids. And of course, one of these is the top that I'm wearing. I wasn't sure if it was going to get here in time to do the video, but it did. And I absolutely love it. So all of these things were available and in stock. If there's anything you see that you love, it will be linked in the description for you below. So it's funny because I actually predicted in the fall that green was going to be the color of the fall season, which I think we saw a lot of green, but I really think pink seemed to dominate a lot more, and I didn't think that was going to be the case, so I was very wrong. And so I think spring and summer, I'm predicting that these pinks are going to be front and center, and everybody else is saying that green is going to be front and center. So it'll be interesting to see how the season plays out and where retailers go and other designers go with their colors. So if you are not a fan of pink, hopefully you are a fan of red. I think the red for the spring and summer that they're predicting is pretty cool. It's really deep and more vibrant. And I wanted to show it next to the middle slide has the vanilla cream in the background, which is a classic color. And I thought it made the vanilla cream a little bit more saturated and made it look a little more peachy pink. And so the first dress is a floral, deep red floral that has the vanilla cream on the backdrop. And so I wanted to talk about vanilla cream for a minute because I think ivories were really popular in the fall and winter. And I think they are going to be popular again in the spring and summer. And we might see more variations that go more towards this color. And I think they're going to be very pretty. And of course the lace dress in the middle, because lace is supposed to be super hot for spring and summer, very on trend. And then the printed dress I thought was amazing because it showed the color combinations that are capable of going with this red tone. So now let's look at a couple of the greens. One is a classic green. The other one is called Lovebird, which I really loved that name. And then in the middle, you're going to see the gray lilac. And I thought this was just a great combination of colors. And I wanted to show you a classic color in here, which the gray lilac is the classic color, because a lot of times the classic colors are going to mix very well with the other 10 colors that were chosen. And you can see here how they are a wonderful mix. And I think we're going to see a lot of these combinations moving forward to spring and summer. And I think sometimes these vibrant colors by themselves can be a little much, but when you mix them in a print and especially together, I think they can make a really nice statement. I am personally a big fan of blue, and it's not always something that is very big every season. A lot of times navy is, but then you get into your other color blues and they just kind of go flat and there's not a lot of them. And this season, I think we're going to see a lot of blue. There were two blues in the color palette. One is called Blue Perennial, and it's a bright standout blue. And then you have the lighter blue, which is Summer Song, which represents tranquility. So you're going to see your pastel blues and your bright blues. And I really think we're going to have a lot to choose from. And the reason why I think that is because blue became very big in fall and winter as well. So what is a good color that goes with blue? Well, it's orange. And there's always a shade of orange. This one is called Tangelo, and it's more of a tangerine color, so it's very vibrant and it's really beautiful. So I think we're probably going to see some oranges that are mixed with pinks and blues and greens, and I think we're also going to see a little bit of coral, because coral is always big in the spring and summer, some seasons more than others. So I'm hoping that that is a color that we are going to see a lot of because it mixes really well with all the other colors. The color yellow they're showing is called Empire Yellow, and I thought it was a very good match for a couple of the classic colors. So I wanted to show it to you next to the Leek Green and the Macchiato, which is your brown and your green that's more neutral. And I thought these color combinations were perfect together. I think it helps tone down the yellow and makes it a little bit more wearable. So I wanted to show you those, and I'll be interested to see how they combine the colors and how designers put these together for the spring and summer, because I do think it makes for a very interesting look. So a very surprising classic color in the palette was a very light aqua color, but this is not a very neutral color, but I do think it goes with almost every other color in the palette, and I think it can be used as more of a neutral. As you can see in some of these prints that I showed you, it just kind of blends really nicely and brings all the other colors together, and then it makes a really good solid color to wear too. But I also wanted to talk about the peachy pink because I did mention in the orange that we might see coral, and I totally forgot about the peachy pink until I got to this slide. And I do think that we are going to see some coral and mixed with some of the other colors, and there are going to be a lot of pastels, as you can see, but there are also going to be a lot of vibrant colors, so you are going to have a very large amount of choices this coming season. I would love to know what color was your favorite in the comments below, and maybe you love all of them like I do. This gets me so excited for the coming season and also for the coming year, especially with that Viva magenta color. So thank you so much for watching. If you love this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also hit that subscribe button and the little bell to help my channel grow. And I thank you guys so much for the past year, and I'm hoping this year is even better. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day, and remember to love your neighbor and be kind.